What is up? Welcome. It's Tuesday, noon, well, 12:01. And we are here with Build with the CEO. My name is Trevor. I'm the CEO of Coach Catalyst. And today we're going to be talking about this concept called front of the house and back of the house. But before we get into that, we've got a lot of things going on. And so I just want to highlight everything so that you have every resource that you may need. Fall marketing calendar, we launched that a couple of weeks ago to help you plan out your fall. It gives you like a nice calendar timeline on how to execute in the fall so that we run our core programs and our lead magnets and some micro commitment programs all at the same time. And then last week we launched the perfect launch. So the fall marketing perfect launch. So it gives you basically what to do each week leading up to a launch, kind of 6 weeks out, 5 weeks out, 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out. And it gives you the kind of step-by-step to do each week. So again, really easy to launch because we should really be thinking about launching a core program this fall. As we've talked about in previous episodes, fall is one of the major times during the year when really psychographic aligns with what you offer in greater numbers, right? More people are thinking about getting back into fitness, getting back into routine in the fall. And that's the perfect time to put your offerings in front of people so that you can help them be successful, right? That's what it's all about. And our job here at Coach Catalyst is to help you do that more effectively, whether it's using Coach Catalyst to help deliver your programs, or it's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, SuperCoach CRM, to help with that marketing and sales front end piece. So we've got all those things going on. Last month, too, right at the end of the month, we launched the 28-day macro mastery program, and we have a 5-day program for that as well. So definitely check those out in the library because those could be great assets for you rather than having to create all that yourself. We've kind of done a lot of the hard work for you. So I need to put do not disturb on my computer so I don't get pinged with all of these notifications and distracted, because let's get to it. So there's this concept called front of the house and back of the house. Okay. That I think is really important, really in business and any kind of service type business, right? And the restaurant industry is, I think, really easy to talk about because everyone's been to a restaurant, right? Especially a nicer restaurant. We're not talking about like Chipotle here or McDonald's or drive-through. We're talking about a nicer restaurant, a place where you're going to get served, right? In an experience, right? So the front of the house is the hostess, right? When you walk in, it's the hostess who's going to greet you. It's ultimately the atmosphere that you see when you walk in. What do you see inside of the restaurant? You maybe haven't bought yet. Maybe even looking at the menu too. That's part of the front of the house. Kind of seeing like, what does this restaurant have to offer, right? And then the back of the house of the restaurant is the kitchen. It's the stuff you don't see, right? When you're at a restaurant, but your food comes out and it tastes amazing, but you don't really see how any of it is made. You don't see the chefs that are back there, the sous chefs that are back there, people cleaning up dishes, everyone communicating. Really, you just interact with your waiter, right, or waitress, and they're kind of that connection between the front of the house and the back of the house. Now, how do we relate this to business, right? So the front of the house in business is our marketing, it's our sales, it's what people see, it's the menu, it's our services, those kind of things. It's the things that people see. They haven't yet bought, right? They haven't yet purchased. And so that is the front of the house. Think funnels, think text messages, think email marketing, website, widgets, right? All of those things are in the front of the house, like marketing and sales, right? What the world sees. And then we have back of the house. This is really the client experience and the delivery, right? So Coach Catalyst is essentially the platform to deliver back of the house, right? It's why we created it, to be able to deliver the actual thing your clients paid for, or to deliver on the promise that you made in the front of the house, right? In your marketing, you promised to help someone achieve X, Y, and Z. Coach Catalyst is the tool that you use in order to effectively create that, right? Just as a coach or just as a chef would use pots and pans and different things, you have all the tools and elements inside of Coach Catalyst. It's kind of like your back of the house, right? And so every coaching Every coaching system that scales really has these two things. And you don't really need these if you have like one or two clients, but you start to need these as you're starting to get more of an influx of leads, as you're getting more interest in your coaching, and if you're really trying to build a strong business around this. So there's two pieces, right? We have front of the house, and then we have back of the house. So how do we transition? So the transition is a transaction. It's a payment. So someone is moving into a coaching relationship. That is this transition from front of the house to back of the house. And some people really, really try to put all of this in one single system. And I don't think that's a good idea. And here's why. Right? If all of your leads, your prospects, everyone going through your sales pipeline, and all of your clients are all in the same system, number one, as a coach, you're going to be distracted and you're going to move around to a bunch of places, right? And so you won't be effective in getting the work done. Two, you're bound to, I would almost guarantee you're going to drop the ball somewhere because it's almost impossible to have all those moving parts in a singular system. So how we coach coaches is they should have two distinct systems. They should have a system for their front of the house, their marketing, their sales, their scheduler, all of that stuff. And then they should have the system for the back of the house to deliver that client experience. All right. And we've talked a lot. I mean, you're on just Coach Catalyst podcast, right? This is a Coach Catalyst, right? Build the CEO. So Coach Catalyst is the back end. That's what we feel, what we're building to be the best platform for your coaching. And then the front end, we never actually really had a good system to recommend for coaches for a really, really long time because it didn't really exist. And so we would build like landing pages in ClickFunnels and then in lead pages, and then coaches could utilize those. But ultimately, we were seeing coaches having to duct tape a bunch of different systems together. So maybe they were using Calendly, Kajabi, maybe they're using like ClickFunnels or some sort of funnel builder, right? And they had all of these different systems that they were kind of duct taping together to try to make it all work. And it just ended up like a lot of things were breaking, and ultimately we couldn't help because like if you're using all these different systems, I can't really without you hiring me to coach you, like I can't really help you with these systems. So there's just a ton of chaos in it. But if we want to grow a coaching business, we need both of these running nicely, right? Because the last thing you want to do as a coach is like spending your time on admin and these back end things. And so I don't know how long ago was it, 2-3 years ago, where this company called Go High Level had really grown enough where we felt like this could be an awesome coaching backend, awesome coaching front end, front of the house. And so we started to build our content in it. We started to build programs that match funnels that match the programs that were inside of Coach Catalyst, email sequences. We started to build out schedulers, and honestly, we use it as our backend for Coach Catalyst. All the emails that get sent out, everything happens through it. And oops, I think I lost my mic. So we call it SuperCoach CRM, and that's the system that we build on to help coaches. And then other coaches can use that to effectively build the front of their house. So if they need email marketing, if they need text message marketing, they need a funnel, if they need what else would be there? Website widgets. If they need like a social planner where they can go in and schedule out all of their different social posts, that's inside the platform. And then all of these automations to be able to link things together. Some of you for this call maybe clicked a link that said, remind me about this call. That puts you down an automation that sent out an email reminder and a text message reminder when the call got close. If you guys downloaded any of the guides that we created, all of those automations were created inside of the platform. And so I didn't need to do anything once you downloaded that stuff. Okay. And the benefit to having a front of the house and a back of the house is it forces your focus. Okay. So for the front of the house, and honestly, like I don't really care if you use SuperCoach CRM or if you use something else. But I think you need, obviously I'd like you to use SuperCoach CRM because then we can help you. But if you have another thing that's working for you, great. But we should have these two distinct places or two distinct platforms where this stuff happens. Because when I log into SuperCoach CRM, it is all marketing, it's sales, it's prospects, It's connecting it's connecting with people in the pipeline, right? It's moving people through the pipeline. It's funnels. It's all of that stuff, right? It's all of this front end stuff. And then when I'm inside of Coach Catalyst, it's all coaching. So it allows you to be in the correct mindset when you're in each of these platforms. And then I keep all of my prospect communication in one place, and then all of my client communication in another place, which now I don't have overlap, which decreases the likelihood of me dropping the ball somewhere. So having those distinct platforms to be able to do those things, and I think is really, really, really important because it allows you to operate a lot more efficiently. And then the beauty is they can kind of speak to each other to make it kind of this full system that works together. But it's ultimately two places where you go in to do things. And so when you have that front of the house dialed in, that just makes launches, it makes lead magnets, it makes getting your stuff out into the world a whole lot easier. The social planner where you can go in and schedule things, right? And then once someone becomes a client, we move them into Coach Catalyst and we provide an incredible experience there, right? The communication is there and it makes it really easy to be able to execute every aspect of it, both all the way from someone is interested into what you're doing to them being part of some of your coaching, one of your coaching programs. So less time kind of chasing things around because we can create some automations and more time coaching. Now, SuperCoach CRM replaces some things like ClickFunnels, MailChimp, Calendly, even some Zapier stuff, notes. All of it can be in one spot, and that's like everyone that's ever been connected to your business. So we do all of our email marketing through it, all that kind of stuff. We do all of our lead capture to nurture to conversion, follow up, everything through it. And one thing that we've been talking a lot about recently, right, is back to school or back to basics, depending on how you want to market it. They're both exactly the same. They're just marketed differently or they're designed differently. The content is exactly the same. So we build out the funnels in there. We build out the email automations, all of that, just to make it really, really easy. And so if you take anything away from this call, it's really, there needs to be two pieces to your business, right? There's a before the sale and then there's an after the sale. Everything before the sale should be in one system, okay? Prospects, leads, the sales journey, funnels, scheduler, social media planner, all that stuff should be in one spot because that's more about attracting new people, garnering more attention and awareness, and kind of moving people to purchasing one of your coaching programs, right? And then once they become a paying client of yours, right? They've made a transaction. Now they cross through and now they come into the coaching platform. The cool thing about this too is it keeps your coaching platform exclusive to paying clients, right? We want clients to feel a level of exclusivity. And so that's where having Coach Catalyst as your place where only your clients have that type of access to you. And then when you're in Coach Catalyst, right, you're staying focused on actually executing with those clients rather than kind of working through prospects and those kind of things. And so a couple times a year, we have a big promotion with SuperCoach CRM because we can't bring on lots of people at one time. So we limit the number of spots that we can bring on at any given time. And I believe for this round, we're doing 25 spots. That's where we feel we can provide an incredible experience, onboard people well, and give them the help that they need to get started because there's a lot of moving parts and we want to make sure that you're successful with it. So you probably noticed we've been talking about a wait list all week. And part of that wait list is a private webinar that we are doing this Thursday, July 24th at 10 a.m. Central. And anyone on the wait list gets access to that webinar. We're going to walk through everything that's included in this promotion. We're giving a discount. You're getting 3 months for the price of 2. And then anyone that signs up before the early bird, which is Monday of next week, will get to jump in on a 4-week launch sprint with me. So we're going to do 4 weeks, 4 live sessions, and basically talk through all of the aspects of a launch and make sure that you're successful with your launch in the fall. And so it's about as close to one-to-one coaching. We're going to do it in a group format so that each week you're going to be able to ask questions, get some help, but also kind of figure out or really get guidance on what you need to do this week to have a great launch in the fall. So those are all just kind of different things we got rolling right now. Anyone on the waitlist will get it. We did put the link in the description to this episode. So if you want to jump on the waitlist, we'll be starting to send out some emails there in the next couple of days. But the webinar is this Thursday. If it's something that's interesting to you, if that's something that would help you, if it's not SuperCoach CRM, find something, right? Find something to be able to deliver the front end of your business. And so have a distinct front end, have a distinct back end, and your life will be a whole lot easier, and you'll get some sanity back rather than having to try to duct tape 15 tools together, because we're not at that stage anymore. 5 years ago, yeah, you probably would have had to duct tape a number of them together because the tools weren't there yet, but the tools have gotten there to be really successful, and we've been extremely pleased with the development around Go High Level and our ability to create our content around it and just make it easier for you guys to go out, build businesses and change lives. So if you have any questions with anything, definitely comment. Make sure you tag me too so that I see it. I can't see any of the comments that are coming in on Facebook for some reason. I don't see them until afterwards. So if you do have something, just make sure you tag me. I'll check it later and get back to you. But yeah, jump in on the webinar, grab that link, and hopefully we see you on Wednesday. But think about front of the house, back of the house, set your business up for success. My name is Trevor. I'm the CEO of Coach Catalyst, and I will see you again here next week, Tuesday at noon. We'll see you later. Bye.